What if everything you've been told about Japan, its rich history, stunning landscapes, vibrant culture, and iconic traditions, was nothing more than an elaborate illusion, carefully crafted over centuries to captivate the world's imagination and keep us believing in the existence of a place that was never really there? Why do you think it was closed for hundreds of years for foreigners? Why is it so expensive to go there? Here is 10 reasons that will make you think if Japan is real or not. 1. Sumos are just giant actors. The whole sport is an elaborate stage performance. In this version, sumo wrestling is not a competitive sport but a carefully choreographed theatrical performance, similar to professional wrestling. The sumo wrestlers are actors, trained to perform rather than compete. Their massive size and powerful moves are part of the act, designed to entertain rather than determine a true winner. Who is more powerful or well-trained? Doesn't matter, because this is just an act. Think about it. The matches follow a script, with the wrestlers knowing the outcome in advance. Rituals like salt throwing and stomping are part of the show, similar to props in a play. The wrestlers are larger-than-life characters, playing exaggerated roles of strength and tradition, with the audience watching for the spectacle rather than the unpredictability of the contest. In this scenario, sumo is an ancient performance art, a mix of physical skill and cultural ritual, rather than a real competition. The audience is part of the illusion, enjoying the performance rather than focusing on the outcome. 2. Anime was a government psyop. The world needed a fictional place for all the giant robots and school festivals. In this version, anime is part of a government-created illusion designed to make people believe in a fantastical version of Japan. Giant robots, magical girls, and endless school festivals are all carefully crafted elements to keep the world distracted and entertained. These exaggerated stories were made to create the image of Japan as a land of adventure and wonder, hiding the truth that it doesn't exist. The government used anime as a psyop to make Japan seem like a real place, filled with endless imagination and impossible scenarios. People are so captivated by these fictional tales that they never question whether Japan is truly there. 3. The Tokyo Drift Conspiracy. Have you ever actually seen anyone drift in Tokyo? Thought so. This theory suggests that the iconic drifting scenes from movies like The Fast and the Furious are part of a carefully crafted conspiracy to make Japan appear real. While Tokyo is often shown as a hotspot for wild street racing and drifting, no one has ever actually witnessed the kind of extreme drifting portrayed in these films. The truth is that these scenes are staged, and the thrill of Tokyo's fast-driving culture is an exaggeration. It's all part of the illusion to convince the world that Japan exists, creating a high-energy, fast-paced narrative around a place that isn't really there. The drifting is just a clever tool to keep people believing in the myth. 4. Mount Fuji is just a giant backdrop. Sometimes you can see the pixels if you look closely. In this version of reality, Mount Fuji isn't a real mountain at all. It's actually a giant, meticulously crafted backdrop, like a movie set designed to give the illusion of a majestic, natural wonder. The perfectly symmetrical peak is too visually striking to be real, and it serves as a key element in the illusion of Japan's existence. If you pay close enough attention, you might spot small imperfections or even pixelated edges, revealing that it's not actually a mountain. Instead, it's a carefully constructed visual prop, created to complete the fictional image of Japan and reinforce the idea that this country exists. If you think about it for at least a second, does it make sense that in the middle of nowhere there is a giant mountain? This is not how geography works. 5. Sushi is too perfect to be real. No country could possibly invent something that delicious. This theory argues that sushi, with its perfectly balanced flavors and intricate presentation, is simply too flawless to be the creation of a real country. The precision and beauty of each piece of sushi, along with its widespread global popularity, suggest it's part of a carefully constructed cultural myth. No place could invent a dish that's so universally loved, so perfectly crafted, and so deeply ingrained in every meal. In this scenario, sushi is more of a fantastical culinary creation, part of the illusion of Japan, designed to convince the world that such a perfect, culturally rich place exists. 6. Cherry blossoms are just pink propaganda. Every photo of them looks suspiciously like a painting. In this version, cherry blossoms aren't a natural phenomenon, they're part of an elaborate marketing scheme to enhance the illusion of Japan's existence. The iconic pink flowers, often shown in perfect bloom in photos, seem almost too perfect, as if every image was carefully staged. If you look closely, the images sometimes appear more like paintings than actual photos. This perfection suggests that cherry blossoms are part of a larger narrative, created to reinforce the idea of Japan as an enchanting, picturesque place, where every detail is designed to captivate the world. They are the idealized symbol of a fictional country, a beautiful yet manufactured spectacle. But you could ask, that what is the tree that you see in your everyday life? Short answer, a lie. These are normal trees, and the leaves got painted to pink, so everyone on Earth could believe that Japan exists. 7. Nobody has ever seen a wild samurai. If Japan were real, at least one samurai would still be roaming the streets. The idea here is that samurai, the legendary warriors of Japan, are part of a myth. If Japan were a real place, at least one samurai would still be seen wandering the streets today, perhaps an older, weathered warrior, carrying on the traditions of the past. But no one has ever actually encountered a wild samurai in the modern world. This suggests that the idea of samurai is more of a constructed legend, designed to enhance the mystique of Japan, rather than a living, breathing part of the culture. The myth of the samurai is kept alive through stories, movies, and anime, but in reality, there's no sign of them anywhere. 8. It's just New York at night. All those neon lights. Same city, different camera angle. This theory suggests that what we think of as Tokyo, especially the iconic neon-lit streets, is actually just New York City, cleverly filmed at night with a different camera angle and some special effects. The bright lights, bustling streets, and urban atmosphere are all too similar to what you'd find in NYC. Instead of being the vibrant capital of Japan, Tokyo is just a reimagined version of New York, with added visual flair to make it seem like a separate, distant place. The illusion is maintained through movies, photos, and media, convincing everyone that Tokyo is its own unique city when, in reality, it's just a nighttime version of a familiar, already existing metropolis. 9. Nintendo headquarters is actually in Ohio. Japan is just a cover story for Mario's true origins. In this theory, the global phenomenon that is Nintendo, along with its iconic characters like Mario and Zelda, is a cleverly orchestrated cover-up. While the company is publicly said to be based in Japan, it's actually headquartered in Ohio, where it started as a small business that eventually grew into a worldwide powerhouse. The Japan story was fabricated to give Nintendo a mysterious, exotic origin, adding to its appeal. By creating the illusion of a Japanese gaming giant, the company could build a powerful brand identity. In reality, everything, from Mario to the legendary games, is just part of a story built around a much more ordinary, and far less exotic, Ohio origin. 10. Godzilla was a warning. The government had to fake an entire country just to justify a giant lizard rampaging through a city. This theory suggests that the creation of Godzilla, the giant monster that terrorizes Tokyo in the classic films, was a metaphorical warning to the world about the dangers of Japan's supposed existence. The government had to fabricate the entire country of Japan, along with its iconic monsters, to explain away the destruction caused by Godzilla. The lizard's rampages were part of a grand narrative designed to distract people from the fact that Japan itself is a fictional place. Godzilla's destruction was a controlled spectacle, meant to keep the illusion of Japan intact by adding an element of danger and excitement to the story. Essentially, Godzilla was created as a way to explain the consequences of a country that doesn't exist. Conclusion. In conclusion, the evidence overwhelmingly supports the idea that Japan simply doesn't exist. From the meticulously crafted illusions of sumo wrestlers as giant actors, to the neon lights of Tokyo being nothing more than a clever camera angle of New York, the entire narrative of Japan is a fabricated story designed to captivate the world's imagination. The cherry blossoms, the samurai, and even the epic rise of Godzilla all point to the same conclusion: Japan is a myth, built for entertainment, cultural intrigue, and global fascination. The decision to close Japan off from foreigners for hundreds of years makes perfect sense in this context. By restricting access, the myth could be preserved and allowed to grow undisturbed. If Japan were truly open, the illusion might collapse, revealing the carefully crafted layers that kept the world believing in its existence. The mystery and allure of Japan were maintained by keeping outsiders at bay, ensuring that the story of Japan would remain intact as a legend. Ultimately, Japan's existence is simply a narrative, a well-conceived myth designed to add a sense of mystery and wonder to the world. If you liked this video, please leave a like, tell us in the comment which reason convinced you that this country don't exist, and don't forget to subscribe to see another video next week. Have a good weekend. Bye bye.